Hello everyone, my name is Gaudriel and today I'll be presenting my project, the High Availability Personal/Professional Portfolio, which combines modern DevOps and full-stack development practices. The goal of this project was to build a highly available and scalable portfolio website that integrates the Google OAuth 2.0 for secure editing, load balancing via HA proxy, and which displays GitHub contributions through a CDN-powered widget. In this presentation, I'll guide you through the architecture, core components, and a live demo of the app. For this project, I used Multipass to create an instance where I can put all my files. So let's first log in into my instance. So first, let's start with the file structure. Here is how the project is organized. Backend contains the core Node.js files, which is app.js and app2.js, for managing the Express server and handling business logic. Public contains static files like HTML, CSS, and JS that form the front end. Views hold the EJS templates for dynamic server rendered content. And routes handles the authentication. So now let's look into the main backend files, app.js and app2.js. This file handles the main backend functionality of the portfolio. It uses express.js to serve content, handle OAuth authentication via Google Cloud, and manage project-related routes. Here's a brief look at what app.js does. Here is the OAuth setup. It integrates Google OAuth 2.0 for authentication, ensuring that only authorized users can add or edit projects. Routing defines routes for displaying the portfolio and handling user interactions like adding projects. Project management, which allows authenticated users to add new projects to the portfolio. Now let's look at app2.js. App.2.js is similar to app.js, but can be used to represent another instance of the backend server for load balancing. This file mirrors app.js, ensuring redundancy and availability. The only difference here is that this is using the port 3002, while app.js is using the port 3000. So now let's talk about the Nginx configuration. Nginx is used here as a reverse proxy to route incoming traffic to the backend server. It also serves static assets like images and styles. So now let's look inside the main configuration file, which is located at etc nginx sites available and the default. I think I made a typo. Sites available. Let's cd into it so we get to see what's happening. cd/etc/nginx. Now let's look into it. cd sites available. Oh, right, that was a file, not a directory. So now let's look inside. Here is how the structure is. Nginx listens on port 80 and proxies requests to HA proxies, which in turn balances traffic to multiple backend servers, like app.js and app2.js, which you can see here. Port 3000 for app.js and port 3002 for app2.js. So now let's dive into the HA proxy configuration, which is located in cd. Let's move up with file structures. Now we move into the HA proxy and we get to look inside the HA proxy configuration file. The front end listens on port 8000 and forwards traffic to the backend. Backend balances traffic between two servers, which was server 3000 on the port 3000 and app2.js with the port 3002. So now let's see how everything works. Let's first clear. So this terminal will run app.js. And as you can see, we are getting GET requests and it's giving us success. Now let's try Node app2.js. As you can see, it's getting the same results. So that means both servers are able to run. So now let's see the status of our Nginx. It shows that it's active and running. Now let's look at our status of our HA proxy. As you can see that the server is for the backend is down. One way we can fix this is by reloading HA proxy. So let's go sudo systemctl reload HA proxy. While we're at it, let's also reload Nginx. So now let's try again. Systemctl status Nginx systemctl. Now let's see HA proxy. It should now be able to work. As you can see, both are now running and now we're able to access our site. So this is my main site, which you can see I added the GitHub calendar, and now we're able to log in with our Google account. Take a note of this name, Goody de la Cruz, and now we're able to see our name, our displayed name. So this is my main profile, my main portfolio, and here I listed some of my projects, and that we're able to add a new project. Let's say web server project number 2, high availability per personal portfolio. And you can see you can add a link. So let's log into my GitHub. Let's add this repository that I created for this project. Let's grab the link and let's paste it. And as you can see, our project is added and we can view it through a link. This shows my tech stack and my GitHub contribution. So now let's test the load balancing. So let's open a bunch of the website. Take a note of this port 8000. So let's grab it and let's just paste it. All right, so now that we have a bunch of our sites, let's log in. As you can see, the port is now 3002. Let's give this another try. The port is 3000. Let's give it one more try. 3002. Actually, one more try. As you can see, the load balancing does work. When I refresh the page, the HTTP routes to request one of the Nginx instances on either port 3000 or 3002, ensuring the sites remain responsive. The health check ensures that the only health backends are used, providing fault tolerance. If one of the backend server goes down, the traffic will automatically be directed to the remaining health server, can be either port 3000 or port 3002. In conclusion, this project demonstrates a highly available and scalable portfolio site, integrating the OAuth 2.0 authentication, load balancing with HA proxy, Nginx reverse proxy, and a GitHub contribution calendar widget. This setup showcases a modern DevOps approach for building and deploying a resilient web application. Thank you for your time, and I'm happy to take any questions.